I was talking to a teacher friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about how to actually get started selling on TPT. She asked me, how do you even know what to sell on TPT? What are the very first steps to take? And how do I know what kind of products to make to start selling on TPT? And my answer was very simple.
Hey, teacher friend, welcome to Online Business for Teachers, the podcast for educators who are tired of being tired and wondering if there's more out there. Are you up late Googling online jobs for teachers or how to make extra money from home? Do you dream about starting a business, working from home, or finally getting paid for the resources you've already created without adding more stress to your plate? I'm Monica Lopez, a former teacher who was burnt out, overwhelmed, and secretly searching for a way out. I wanted more time with my kids, the freedom to work from home, and a way to make money doing something I actually enjoyed. That's when I discovered the simplest path, creating and selling my own teacher resources, using the skills I already had. Now, I help teachers like you turn your ideas into income with step-by-step guidance, real talk about finding time to grow your business, and the mindset shifts that help you believe it's actually possible. So close those lesson plans and grab your favorite drink. It is your turn now.
Before we jump in, here's my shameless plug because why not? If you've been thinking about getting started on TPT, but you honestly don't know where to start, I created something to help you. It's my TPT Stores Starter Kit mini course. It's 6 quick videos that walk you through how to design your logo, create your brand elements, make covers, thumbnails, and previews that actually convert, and set up your store visuals in Canva or PowerPoint. By the end, your storefront is going to look like something you're actually proud to share. It takes you from, I don't know what I'm doing, to, oh wait, my store actually looks amazing. I'm going to drop the link in the show notes if you want to check it out. All right, so here we go. 4 steps to start selling on TPT. Step 1, look through your drive for things that already worked. You just have to look through your files in your computer, especially if you have been teaching for quite a bit. You have a ton of files in your computer that you have created and used in your classroom. A lot of times we think, okay, I have to make things that are selling on TPT. And we start going down that rabbit hole, like what is selling, what are popular products. And I've even seen some posts on Facebook like, what do you sell the most of, and things like that. The answers are never direct. It always is, it depends. So you never know what is going to sell well for you. A lot of people get stuck on trying to figure out what other teachers need and what they're actually going to buy. But today I want to offer that you already know what you want to make. You already know what works, and you already know what other teachers want. And the reason I know this is because if it worked for you and your classroom, it's going to work for other teachers as well. So today I want to invite you to look in your documents, in your Google Drive, in your binders, and all of the things where you store your lesson plans in. I want you to look for those things that you have already used in your classroom, and I want you to grab from there. Just go back in time and see what actually worked for you. Remember the students that you used them with. Remember how they reacted to it. Remember what you said and how you felt about that lesson or activity. Just go back down memory lane, flip through those pages, click through those folders in your desktop. That is what's going to tell you whether this product is going to sell well or not, because it already has the research behind it. You can also think back to when you put some activities out on your wall outside in the hallway and other teachers commented, or you had that observation and that activity was super amazing and your principal was very impressed. Those are the products that are research based because you have done the research. Sometimes it was just a lesson plan and you created the activity on the fly. So look through your lesson plan binder or your lesson plan files and remember those activities and just create the activity. Because I remember that I would create like lesson plans and stuff, and then I would just use like construction paper and just kind of on the fly type of activities. And I posted them outside of my wall, and teachers would comment it like, "Oh my gosh, this is such an amazing activity." Well, type it up, right? Type it up, create the actual student handouts. A lot of times we don't do that because we don't have time to go to the copier. But if you go back to your lesson plans and you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember what I did with that." Could you create a printable from it, right? Instead of just using the scissors and construction paper markers and colors, just could you create a printable from that and then type up the lesson plan, right? I know this because I had a teacher binder from many years ago and I went back to it and I just kind of flipped through the pages and thought, oh my gosh, I did some amazing things that year. And they are all stored in that binder. So I took the natural next step, and it was obviously to share those things, right? So go back and look through your files and think, what would I share with another teacher because it went so well? What do you remember that was so amazing about that lesson plan or that activity? Sometimes the ideas are already there. You just have to dig them up and polish them up for other teachers to use, which takes me to step 4. Polish your activities. Make them sellable. Many times we create activities on Microsoft Word or Google Docs, and they're not quote unquote presentable to sell or publish. So the first step is to look through your files, and the second step is to polish those activities up. After you pick a few activities that you know are amazing, put them in Canva or put them in PowerPoint and polish them up a little bit. Add some clip art to it. Go into TPT and find some clip art that you really like that goes with that activity and make it nice. Make it presentable. Make it sellable. Put a border around it. Add nice clip art. Maybe you want to make 2 versions. Maybe you want to have like a black and white version and a color version. Then create your cover, your thumbnails, and your previews. Create your product description and title it something that is going to catch the attention of other teachers. Just make it searchable and list it. Those are your first few products already. You don't have to worry about a niche. You don't have to worry about what teachers are buying, or you don't even have to do a ton of research because you know that these products work. Now, I do want to add a little caveat here. When you are making your products quote unquote presentable, done is better than perfect, because a lot of us are going to go down the rabbit hole of, is this nice enough? Is this presentable enough? Is it beautiful? Does it need another clip art? Does it need another type of border? Does this look good? All of those things are just overthinking. So once you have it done, stop looking through it and move on. Don't get stuck in, is this enough? Okay, because that's another rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. Okay, step 3, list it and forget about it. So this kind of goes along with done is better than perfect. Just list the product. You don't know if it's going to sell until you actually put it up, okay? You cannot sell things and you cannot experiment with things unless you just slap it up there and see what happens. When you're first getting started, I suggest that you just put things up there and see what happens. Don't get lost in the thinking of, is this going to work? Should I put this word in the title or that word? Should I do it this way or should I do it that way? You will get stuck in a lot of shoulds and you're actually not going to do anything. If you're like me and you're like an overthinker or a perfectionist, I'm going to offer that you stop and that you just hit published. One of the best lessons that I have learned as an entrepreneur is everything is an experiment. Everything is an experiment. You never know what's going to happen until you put it up there. You never know if it's going to do well or not until you put it up there. One example of this is something that happened to me just last week. I threw a sale on my website and nobody bought a single thing. And if it would have happened to me even a year ago, I would have cried over it. I would have lost sleep over it. I would have overthought so much about it. And I would have just gotten super stressed over this non-productive sale. I guess I can call it non-productive sale. But nowadays, I've adopted the thought of everything is an experiment and I cannot control the outcome of anything. So I have so much more fun creating and uploading and learning from the data that it's giving me instead of stressing over, is this the right thing? Are people going to buy it? How are people going to react? All of those things are 100% unnecessary. Yes, you do have to make decisions based on data, but you can only accumulate that data by making the mistakes, by experimenting with the ideas. Sometimes you have to let your ideas marinate for a little bit in your brain, and that's okay. But other times, when that instinct hits, just do it and see what happens. The worst thing that can happen is that you learn from that failure. So like, for example, with my sale failure, I learned that my audience is not interested in those types of resources. Maybe they're not interested at that point in time. Maybe they're not interested in those types of resources at all. Maybe nobody read the email because it was a huge winter storm and teachers were not at work. I'm not sure what happened, right? But I do know that nobody bought. I could try again later and I might, I'm not sure, but I learned something from it, right? My audience is not interested at that time in those resources. That's it, right? For whatever the reason it was. Now, if I try again, I might learn some more information from it, but for now, we're just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to stress over it, okay? All right, so step 4, leave it alone. Don't check data too soon or too often. Don't go back every day or even every week to see how that product is doing. That is going to kill your energy and is going to waste a ton of time that you could be using to create other products. I honestly like to keep my products up for an entire year before I actually go out there and look at the data. An entire year. Why? Because a lot of times my product is seasonal and I have to give it a full year to actually know what it's doing. Also, your products need to gain traction on TPT, so you have to give them time. Also, a lot of alsos, you can't really tell how your products are doing until they have enough views. Think about a tomato plant. Whenever you first plant it, you put that seed in there and you get a little sprout. You don't keep digging it up every day or every week to see how the plant is doing or how the roots are doing. You just let it do its thing. As teenagers say nowadays, just let it cook. So just like you wouldn't dig up a plant every day to see how far it's growing, I would not look at each product's data every day or every week. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. And it'll keep you spinning in circles trying to figure out whether it's doing okay or if the changes that you made are effective. If you've been doing this for a year or two or even longer, go back and look at your data for the products that you changed last year or added last year or last month to see how they're doing. But honestly, if they don't have enough views yet, and I'm saying 300, 400, 500 views, then don't worry about that product right now, okay? And even then, spend your time making more products instead of digging up all the data for this week. Okay. All right. So the steps you want to follow if you're just getting started, or if you're already an established seller and you need more ideas, or just a reminder for when you're overthinking, here's the 4 steps. Step 1, look through your drive. Step 2, pick out a few products that you know did very well with the students that you used them with. Step 3, list those products. Step 4, leave them alone. And I just want to remind you that we are creating products for actual humans, right? For teachers, for students. So a lot of times we get stuck in the data and we forget that we're actually creating for people. So go back and look to see what you as a teacher and your students actually were successful with, because that is what's going to be successful in your store as well. So there's that. All right, before you go, don't forget, if you want help making your TPT store look clean and cohesive and professional from day one, check out the TPT Store Starter Kit mini course. It's quick, it's simple, and it's going to save you hours of guessing. The link is in the show notes. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next week.
Hey, teacher friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If this show is helping you dream a little bigger, would you take 30 seconds to leave a quick review? It means the world to me, and it helps more teachers find their way to this podcast. I'll meet you back here next week. Take care and keep dreaming bigger.